Hello everybody, it's Dean here from Maverick, and we're here again with another live session, and today we're going to be talking about how you can be memorable for the right reasons. And I'm joined with, he's not my dad, as I say very often, Vasco.
Yep.
So Vasco, we're going to talk about, well, before we do this, actually, is it me or does it not feel like Christmas? It just doesn't feel like Christmas this time.
I can't even, I'm going around, I don't even hear any Christmas songs anymore.
Now, I think this kind of, that thing, because we're live on YouTube, I can't say that thing.
The word.
The current situation. It just feels like Christmas just feels pretty strange. And I found a lot of people are going, do you know what? There's not much business we can do in December anyway, so let's take it easy and get ready for the new year.
Yeah, did you see on the BBC this morning that it said Easter is going to be the new Christmas next year?
Yeah, because it's probably going to be the time when things are starting to kind of come back to normal and we're starting to see like that freedom. If you think about it, it's nearly, well, it's 9 months since we've actually interacted with some
human beings.
Like, in the last 9 months, I've been out once for a meal with Louise, my wife, and it's like, it feels really strange, and like all that social interaction's gone, and coming to memorability, we've got loads of relationships through COVID. Oh, I said it. YouTube has this restriction, so if you say it, you end up getting deranked on the videos. But because of some of the restrictions, and because of all the digital world, we've actually created new relationships.
Yes, we have. And it's interesting how easy it has now become and sort of natural for people to go online and talk to clients and talk about business and things that, in the past, it took some time to get used to.
Yeah, we've all kind of adapted pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I read a McKinsey report that basically said that digital adoption has accelerated by like in a few months by 5 to 10 years.
But that's 70 because people didn't have any other options.
70 and 80-year-old people are ordering their shopping online, and it's like, what? When did this happen? But coming to the point of today's session, because I'm sure people don't want to just hear us like they don't want to just hear us chit-chatting. What are some of the tips you've come across working with clients about being memorable and staying memorable?
Well, that's an interesting question because that was one of the first things we spoke about when we started Maverick, which was making you memorable and you being the face of the brand.
Oh, God help us, you've seen my face.
What do you mean? You all over the place. And in the beginning, you didn't want to become a product and look at yourself as a product. But now you've become synonymous with Maverick and Maverick with you. So you're part of the package.
But do you not think that everybody now has to be almost a product in themselves? Because, we always talk about people buy from people.
Yeah.
Does that not mean that everybody it's not just about the business, it's about the person who represents the business?
Yes,
like
it is.
Salespeople, marketing people, we're all ambassadors for our employers or business.
When you used to say that the receptionist or the telephonist used to be the face of the company, and because they were the first person you would talk to when you wanted to go into a company. And all of a sudden, what has happened is that we have become that as well. So, when you talk to a prospect, they will buy from the company because of you. Mm-hmm. You will be the person that will open the door and close the door. So it's not so much about the brand anymore, it's about the people that front the brand.
And that's particularly true in B2B, isn't it? Because in B2B, it's not the same as, we're this big brand. And, there is an element of that, but actually it's about the people you interact with and the people who give you that confidence to, I should investigate this or find out what this company could do.
Yeah, and look, go on to LinkedIn and for example, we've had this in some of our courses. People say, oh, so I'll have to empower my salespeople. And one day when they go, what happens to their connections? Hey, treat them well, and they will not go.
But
So that is a problem. But this also means that there should be a tighter relationship between company and staff.
So let me ask you the controversial question then. If you're saying empower the salespeople or empower people to represent the company, there's an element of we can't control what they do. And if you do try and control what they do, they could look like what I call corporate automatons.
No, but the thing is not about control. It's about empowering by relationship. That means that there must be a true friendly relationship, even a companionship between the brand, the company, and their staff. They must work as one. And when companies start to see this happening and see the results, then there'll be no problem. You know?
So let me ask you this. Company A decides that they are going to empower their team, and they give them a list of approved content they can use on LinkedIn and approved messages and approved scripts and things like that. What do you think of that?
I think that's, in a way, it's positive. It's not controlling. It's just to keeping a standard within the company, that when people talk about the company and the brand, it's all the same across board. So that is the way of standardizing everything. So what we should consider control is telling people what to do and how to do it, the way, for example, the boss wants it or something like that. You have to sort of work as a team. And I think even with the problem that existed in terms of what we're going through now, which we can't name.
I've already broke it, so.
The thing about this is that it has brought people together and wanting to work together. And also it's shown companies that there are other ways of doing business. And the new way of doing business probably will become the way of doing business. So companies have to be more open to this opportunity and the way they work with their staff and vice versa.
Yeah. But let's say a company's really nervous about, they want their employees to get out there. They want their sales team to go out and be in front of those people. And, the quickest way to do that is to start being active on LinkedIn. That's the obvious one because LinkedIn is the B2B platform. What happens when that standards, because we know full well, and Vasco, you share some funny posts and stuff sometimes. Those funny posts don't reflect the Maverick image.
No, they do because we are Mavericks.
No, but does somebody sharing personal stuff reflect on the company?
If they are positive, yes. Well, everything that you do always reflects on the company and the brand. So that you have to be aware of that. Now, the thing is, create the limits where you can go. And because if you become sort of like the things I do, you become more personable. People look at you as a normal human being with the same likes and dislikes as they have. The thing is, when you go, for example, discussing deep politics and even sports or religions, that's not the place to do this. Remember, people see the brand from you forward. So when they see what you do and what you are, they see the brand behind you. So anything, for example, I do reflects on Maverick. And everything that Maverick does should reflect on me. And this is the symbiosis that has to be created between staff and the company and the brand.
So a company should not be afraid of their employees posting personal content?
Not at all. It all depends on the relationship there is between management and the staff. And if it's an healthy sort of relationship, there should be no issues at all. You only be scared of if they're grumpy staff members or they've got something against the company and they do something they shouldn't be doing. But I think that when you work as a team, everyone has got the same target, the same objective of the company. So they'll work towards it.
So let me quick fire question you. We're going to have a short session today. Justin says, beautiful Dean. Really? Wow, thank you. I'm looking great. I've pulled. I'll get my coat.
Imagine if they said you look like my father.
You joined Maverick at kind of our transition stage. If you don't know our story, maybe I'll share it sometime. But in our transition stage, when it was very difficult situation, almost World War III going on with inside the business at the time, and you joined the business, and you came in and said you were really impressed with your 1,400 connections on LinkedIn.
No, it was even less than that. 1,258.
Right. So
Are you going to say the word you told me at the time?
No, we'll not say that. So, Vasco, just your journey in your first year of understanding the power of, I know you know this, but particularly now we're in a digital world, understanding the importance of being visible regularly.
Well, as you might see from the way I look, I come from another generation which was very much analogical.
So you were in the call center brigade before.
Oh yeah, and I come from the age where the only tool that any marketeer had was a thing called the telex, and that's there's ages ago. So I've come from that age. The thing is how you look at the newer opportunities. And when I said I had 1,258 connections, I really thought that this was good because most people had less than 1,000 connections. I thought that just because I knew every one of those connections, I could, start creating or working on the relationships. I forgot one thing, which was you need to be visible. You need to make your brand visible. And you are using the connections to grow the business. Not only to say, I've got these people, but to grow the business and to get your word out there. Also, out of these 1,258, probably 80% were useless. Because they
Why useless?
Because they came from my past experiences that were not, and from other countries that were, first of all, we didn't want to operate. Also, they were potential buyers for other things that we were not doing anymore. So, and some of them were just dormant, or at my age, they had died.
Inactive accounts, basically.
Yeah. So, 80% I couldn't do nothing with them.
So let me ask you now, where are you at now on your connections?
Over 34,000.
And that's you got to 30,000 in a year.
In a year. It was a year to 30,000. And then, as you know, because it's followers, it becomes more difficult.
Just before we move on here, because I know some people will be, but it's not the quantity, it's the quality. No, it's both. You need to have a good, strong, growing network of people who can get value from you and potentially could be customers. Potentially.
Well, we say one thing.
But let me ask you this. How often do you cold pitch people on LinkedIn?
Never. Ever. I've never done it. So what happens is I rely on doing outbound to get inbound. Mm-hmm. And this is what has been happening to all of us. For example, at Maverick, we don't have a salesperson per se. What we have is a person that does cross-selling and upselling or follows up on all the inbound inquiries. So we don't go out there actively pursuing sales. We don't do that because we don't need to, because day in, day out, everyone in the company is on LinkedIn and other social media.
I'm on Facebook now as well, doing Facebook.
I'm also on Facebook now. And I've just revamped my Twitter.
Oh, wow.
I still don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm there. But the thing is, going back to the connections, we say something to clients which is very, very important, which is grow your connections, connect broadly, and then message targeted.
By broadly, though, you don't mean just literally randomly. They have to.
No. So what I mean by this is target decision makers, but also the decision influencers. Some people just want the decision makers. They forget that the influencers are very important. Also, they forget something else, which is people that today are influencers, tomorrow they might be the key person. Mm-hmm. So, and the other thing you have to do, and that's where I think most people fail at, it's nurturing. You have to nurture these connections either by posting every day and going onto their posts and liking their posts and commenting on their posts and sending them information and being in touch with these people. You're creating a relationship. You're not just broadcasting information. You are creating a relationship.
Interesting. I don't know whether this will come across well in terms of conversation. Carl, thank you for loving it when we pop up in the feed. That's brilliant. Carl, no, sorry.
It's not about you, Carl.
I'm so looking forward to Friday when I can take some time off. When you're talking about information and all of that stuff, coming back to the cold calling stats, which I know a lot of people have come from that world, it can feel very unproductive to be spending time on social media like this.
Very true.
Because at least when you pick up the phone and you get a no, you feel like you've accomplished something.
Yep.
You know, there's that saying, isn't it? What's the saying? If you get 99 no's, you're just trying to find the yes. But with social channels, you can actually build up people so that you not only exclusively, but you have to deal with less no's to get more yeses.
Well, there's another thing about this, which is in the old days, you measured your success in a way of, I've done my work, by the ticks you had next to the phone
the number
numbers.
Of calls.
And then you go, oh, I did 20 or 30 calls. Everyone said no. They told me to bugger off. I was very happy to do it, but I've got all these ticks, so I feel fulfilled. On social media, some people still have the Facebooky mindset, which they think I'm on social media for fun. You're not in there for fun. You're in there to create a business, to help grow a business. So it's part of your daily routine. And you even say that in the course, you have to create a routine within 90 days. Otherwise, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Where you have to look for prospects, you have to nurture prospects, and you have to be on top of things. And then as you move forward, the inbound inquiries start to come in. And we've got a client, which is a lady, which I use always all the time as an example, because she's a lady in a man's profession, in an industry which is more male dominated, which is manufacturing. And she's been able to create relationships, great business relationships from LinkedIn. And in one of the last message campaigns she did, out of 100 messages sent out, she got 37 replies. Out of those 37 replies, she got 12 requests for quotes. And out of those 12 quotes, she made 4 sales.
But that when you're talking about a message there, we're talking about a conversational style. We're not talking about this war and peace, buy my stuff.
No, not at all.
So how many times do you get people asking you and saying, I've seen what you're doing, can we have a conversation?
I don't know, I haven't counted, but quite a few.
I
got one yesterday asking for something from you.
My mantra is the best clients come from content, the quickest results come from campaigns.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mean connect and pitch and all of that kind of stuff, because that just does not work. If you think about it, whatever you're doing, you want to be visible. And I share this saying. We all know the saying of being in the right place at the right time. It's like luck. We use it as an explanation of luck. Being in the right place at the right time. But actually with social media, digital channels, you're actually being in the right place for the right time. And there's a big difference of people go, well, I did a post and I got nothing from it.
No, they did.
People say that. Well, you did. You actually got a little bit more awareness of who you are and what you're about. But over time, that builds. And people become more and more familiar with you. And somebody said to me on a call yesterday, I was on a call, and they said, I've never met you, but I feel like I know you. Yeah. And that's why I like working with you, because I feel like I know you.
Because
I went to YouTube.
You've created a relationship.
I've seen you on YouTube. I've seen you on LinkedIn. I've seen you around. You're not a fly-by-night, and I feel like I know you. And when we're on a call, you're straight with me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to create in this new world of selling digitally. We actually have to create those relationships digitally.
The majority of people that are looking, they don't want to interact with you by making a comment or doing a like, but you'll get thousands of people looking at what you're doing. And it's going to be those people, because if you've got the right profile, if you're selling the right product or service, and you've got the right attitude, when the need arises, this person is going to get in touch with you. And that's what's been happening to most of our clients and to us as a company.
So, we've got to wrap up soon because I've been told off for running over time. But I think the key thing I would say is, rather than just go, what do I need now? You need to be visible so that you're building relationships ahead of time. So people get to build a relationship. People get to know you through what you're doing on social media. And I think as well, let's not forget, if you're not selling e-commerce, go away from this live today and think about what are the things that you're doing, messages, interactions, posts, content, what are you doing? And is that helping you create conversations, or is it just you putting that stuff out? Because what I find is sometimes B2B businesses, the vast majority of B2B businesses actually need to have a conversation with a customer before they can buy.
Yeah.
But when you look at their strategy, they're doing things as if they're selling through e-commerce. Let's give them all the product information so they can click a button. But instead of having the click button to buy, because you can't with most of these businesses, you have worth a call. Yeah. And it's like, what are you doing?
No, and most of people go for the kill, as we say, before they create the relationship, before people know what you are about and what your brand is about. Mm-hmm. And this is why, for example, and we've had this experience many, many times, when we go and do courses, people ask, what about the company page? And that should be a talk next time.
Yeah, we'll talk about the company pages, Facebook pages and company pages, and maybe we'll do it on Friday. I think maybe Luke's back with me on Friday, so maybe we'll do it on Friday, who knows. So anyway, hopefully our whittering on here you've enjoyed. Please do subscribe to our channels. We appreciate it if you subscribe, click those buttons wherever you're watching this today so that you can get up to date with us. If you don't like this, unsubscribe. But no, we'll be back on Friday. We'll be talking about some other stuff. So be ready, 12:15 on Friday. From me, Dean Seddon, and from
Vasco.
Thank you very much for watching today.